It's been said that the first $100,000 is the hardest to accumulate in your portfolio. When starting out, it seemingly takes forever when annual gains are minuscule, totaling far less than you could earn by working, but once your portfolio gets to a certain size, it begins to snowball noticeably. This makes the next $100,000 come much quicker, and as your money begins to compound, the first $1 million will arrive much earlier than anticipated. Instead of checking your investments and feeling like no progress is being made, focus your time and effort in areas that will provide the best bang for your buck. When you follow the proper steps, you'll be amazed at how fast your portfolio grows. This video offers 9 tips that will help you set aside your first $100,000. And listen carefully for one tip that will free up a huge chunk of your budget. You'll be shocked at just how much you can sock away. Number 9. Tax plan. You might not realize it, but taxes are likely one of your largest personal expenses. If you have an option to reduce that burden, why wouldn't you? Contributions to an IRA or 401k are tax deductible, which means you'll receive a tax break for using them. When you don't have to pay tax on the money you're contributing, you're going to reach that $100,000 milestone much faster. By investing in one of these tax-advantaged accounts, you'll avoid immediate taxes and your savings will continue to grow tax-deferred. If an employee earned a $50,000 salary and contributed $10,000 to a 401k, their taxable income for the year would be $40,000, with all else being equal. In 2022, most individuals can save up to $20,500 in a 401k and $6,000 in an IRA, providing the ability to significantly reduce your taxable income, while Roth IRAs have their advantages too. Utilizing a 401k and IRA can help you grow your savings at a very fast rate. Number 8. Take advantage of a 401k match. Employer matching of your 401k contributions means that your employer contributes a certain amount to your retirement savings plan based on the amount of your annual contribution. Typically, if a 401k is available at your workplace, the employer will match 50 cents for every dollar you contribute, up to 6% of your salary. This means if your annual income is $50,000, you could invest $3,000 and your employer will match $1,500. Well, not a huge amount, that matches like getting an immediate risk-free 50 return on your investment. Number 7. Earn extra income, earmarked for investments. It's no surprise that the easiest way to save and invest more money is to earn more, but frugality has a limit. You can only save so much money, but when it comes to earnings, theoretically there's no limit. Consider starting a side hustle that could allow you to earn more money that will be earmarked for investing. There are endless opportunities when it comes to starting your own small business, and many of them allow for flexible schedules. Working a side hustle for a few hours on the weeknights or on the weekends can help you increase the amount you can save drastically. By bringing in more money instead of only trying to reduce expenses, you fund your investments without having a huge impact on your day-to-day life. This is extremely important because you'll be more likely to stay the course if you're not feeling deprived. Number 6. Reinvest all dividends. When you begin seeing dividends being deposited into your account, just for owning a stock, it can be tempting to use that money. A payment was just made to you and your investments are paying off. Maybe you could use it to treat yourself to a nice meal out, or begin planning out your next vacation. People love dividends and the cash flow they provide, but you must remember your goals when looking at what to do with that free money. One of the most important things you can do to increase your returns in the stock market is to reinvest the dividend instead of taking the cash. It's tempting to spend your dividends on something exciting, but plowing those payments back into the stock or fund that paid them is often the best move you can make. Take a look at how dividend reinvestment impacts the returns of the S&P 500. Over the past 100 years, the S&P 500 averaged 10.7% with dividends reinvested. If those dividends hadn't been reinvested, the average return would be just 6.6% according to wealthycorner.com. That's a huge difference. Number 5. Purchase low-cost investments. When you're trying to reach your first $100,000, it's important to keep your cost of investing low. Fees pertaining to your investments usually come in two forms: commission for making a trade, and expense ratios for index funds and ETFs. In the past, it was common practice for brokers to charge a fee every time you made a purchase. Now, thanks to newer low-cost options, trading is almost always free. However, companies still charge expensive ratios, but they vary. This is a yearly cost you'll have for owning an index fund or ETF. Index funds and ETFs that track the performance of a benchmark, such as the S&P 500, are the same product from company to company. Since these are created equal, you should choose the lowest cost option. Fidelity's S&P 500 fund charges an expense ratio of 0.09% of your total investment, while Vanguard's S&P 500 charges 0.03% of your total investment for an equivalent product. Number 4. Don't buy and sell. It's frightening when your investments lose value. This situation can have you wondering if the market will ever recover. What if when the market drops you sell everything in an attempt to limit your losses? Selling at the top and buying back in at the bottom would be a great way to lock in profits and buy back at a discount, but it's almost impossible to do this successfully. Average investors who have attempted to do this in the past usually don't buy back in until it's too late and they've missed out on the majority of profit. When you're amassing your first $100,000, don't worry about how the market is performing. Sometimes it will provide great returns, and other times you'll be in the red. Instead of micromanaging your investments and worrying about every market shift, focus on putting away as much money as possible and riding the ups and downs for the long term. Number 3. Select the right investments. Paying no attention to what you're investing in will cost you an incredible amount of money by missing out on potential growth. Investors who are just starting out should primarily focus on earning excellent returns, yet it's extremely common for someone to open a 401k and have no clue what they're even invested in. Higher returns come with higher risk, but when you're only investing a little bit of money, is it really going to change your life if the investment doesn't work out? This doesn't mean you should be reckless with your money by purchasing speculative stocks and random cryptocurrencies. Simply place more emphasis on growth, unlike someone who's already accumulated a large nest egg and is preparing for retirement, and is geared more towards capital preservation. Your goal should be to earn a sizable but reasonable profit by constructing a diversified portfolio. An excellent way to do this is by investing in a fund that tracks the S&P 500. This means you'll take part in the growth of fast-growing companies like Apple and Amazon while also owning about 500 different stocks across many different sectors. Another choice is to buy an S&P 500 growth fund, which provides many of the same benefits but with more emphasis on growth. Number 2. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Inflating your lifestyle to meet your income is one trap that will ensure you never get ahead. Did you know that the average millionaire saves 64% of their income? As people begin to earn more money, almost everyone is tempted to spend more money or inflate their lifestyle. They now suddenly feel as though they deserve a newer, fancier car and they should be dining at finer establishments. Spending has a tendency to rise to meet earnings, but this trap will guarantee you're broke forever with little chance of ever getting ahead. If every time you receive an increase in pay you feel as though you deserve to spend it all, you're never going to be setting aside money for investments. Instead of falling into this trap, when you receive a raise, save most of it. This is especially important when your portfolio is small because the majority of the funds aren't going to be from interest, they're going to be funds you personally contributed. This single habit is perhaps the largest reason that the rich get richer. Number 1. Reduce housing costs. If you're like most people, housing is your single largest expense. By the time you pay your rent or mortgage, utilities, and all related costs, it might seem like there's hardly anything left over. Even if there is, it probably doesn't seem like much when you're trying to reach 100,000, because housing has a tendency to eat up a huge portion of your budget. It's wise to consider how to reduce or eliminate this expense, at least temporarily, while establishing a portfolio. There are many ways to do this, including living with roommates, staying with friends and family in a mutually beneficial arrangement, or living in a lower-cost area. Even house hacking can be done with less money than you'd think. When you reduce or eliminate this expense, you'll be shocked at just how much extra money you have at the end of the month that can be set aside. Reaching the $100,000 mark can be intimidating when you're just beginning your investment journey. Fortunately, there are many things you can do that will help you reach the $100,000 milestone in no time. Implementing these habits early on will set you up for years of wealth creation, allowing you to become richer and richer without ever having to worry about money.